Hello and welcome everyone to our new edition of Gangrena Podcast, where we talk with teachers from UTESBIS. My name is Andres,
And my name is Roberto.
and today we are with teacher Rances Requena. Hello, teacher. How are you?
Hi, nice to be here with you guys.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
First of all, we want to know more about you. Can you please give us a small description of what you do here on the UTESBIS?
Yeah, sure thing. I actually started being a teacher here in 2025, just this year actually, and I'm actually giving 4 subjects, 3 for the guys on 10th grade. I'm on the subjects of progressive web apps, mobile development, and also software development too. Yeah, you know.
Sounds like a lot of job for you for your first stance here on the UTESBIS, but we want to know more about
About
the.
your background in programming.
Sure thing, guys. I actually studied in the UTCH too, but I studied on the Cantera campus. I finished up my studies in 2016. I've been working on the Tribunal Superior de Justicia for since 2015. Actually, it's been 10 years since I started working there. I actually work as a programmer, analyst programmer. You know the drill. We start up analyzing and we start coding a lot, making back end, front end. Also a little bit of database management. So I actually really enjoy my job, but it's gonna be some time. So when I that's when I wanted started wanting a different kind of job. So that's why I applied here to be a teacher, and I am actually really enjoying it.
Great. It's great to know that you're enjoying your job in here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things we want to cover with you. You already told us we know that you have a lot to share with us. So we want to start with our class. We can start with project manager. Time management.
Yes, sure thing. Go ahead.
How do you feel teaching us this class?
I actually really enjoy it because I was not so much of a time management guy. I actually kind of like it. After work, sometimes I just I went eating to my house, and after that I played a lot of video games. So I don't believe that I really manage my time so well. So
Yeah, I know.
when I started, teaching this subject, I actually started seeing some things and enjoying the subject about planning for the future, not just going through life, not just sifting through it. I believe that sometimes life is living the moment, but you have to have a clear goal and clear objectives to have a fulfilling life.
See, yeah, I understand, and I feel like, would you say that just because time management is like outside of your career, like programming and stuff
Yeah.
like that, would you say that this class is also teaching you something?
But yes, I do believe that sometimes, no, not sometimes. It's all the time because you as students are not the ones learning, because sometimes we learn from your experiences. Safe to say that maybe I am a little bit on the middle edge of life. It's just a few years after you. I believe it's like 14 years after you, but you learn some stuff, some new stuff along the way, and that includes from younger generations. You get some good experiences, good knowledge, and that's why I'm learning a lot about it. Not just about me teaching you, but also you teaching me.
Great.
And how do you feel about teaching this teaching us this subject And how do you think it triangles with the programming career?
Okay. I actually feel pretty good teaching to you because programming it's all about like in any work it's about managing your deadlines and your times correctly. And it's just not about shifting to work and just going there and that's it. You have to have this these objectives. You have to have a good leader that establishes them for you to accomplish them. And you actually start feeling pretty good, pretty well because you accomplish these goals, and it kind of motivates you to keep working up. And it's not just about money. It's also about learning and about feeling fulfillment as an employee, a professional.
Yeah, there's room to improve your time management in any project or any part of your life. It is an important thing. Now that we covered that, something to say?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ask you. You mentioned that it's your first quarter here on the
Yes.
HBIS. How much time are you planning to stay in here to be a teacher?
I actually I was considering as of lately, but I find that I'm actually enjoying being a teacher. So I hope it will be kind of a long stay, but time will tell, guys. Maybe I will stay as of for now. Maybe I'll stay the whole year here, but we will see next year how is it going. Yeah, But yes, I'm actually planning to keep up here for hopefully a long time.
Yeah, have you ever seen you as a teacher before?
Yes, because there's this way of thinking I started thinking about as of lately. When you have been this profession, when you have been a professional for such a long time, or having the time that I'm already have already worked, you start thinking about the next logical step you have to take. So that's when I started also studying my master's degree. And what's best about being a professional that sharing that knowledge with younger minds than yourself. So when the opportunity arose, I actually thought about it a lot, and that's when I decided to be a teacher. So it's not been too long since I wanted to start teaching, but the thought of it maybe lingered on my mind a few years back. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can add something, and if you can answer me this, I also wanted to be a teacher in the future, but I feel like I'm not a good student, and I feel like being a teacher is being a super student. What do you think about that?
No, I believe that time and experience help shape you. So what you may feel that there are some inadequacies about yourself at the moment. Maybe with time and maybe with work and maybe these experiences will help you shape you a lot more. So maybe when you are at the time that you believe that you are a well-defined, well-rounded professional, that's when maybe you will start thinking about being a teacher too, It's not about being good or bad, it's more about wanting to improve and also to be a teacher, It certainly helps a lot being a good student, but I wouldn't say that it would necessarily be to be a great student, to be a good teacher. Time will teach you some stuff, and also if you're not a good student at the moment, better start studying right now. So when you're at that point, you can confidently say that you could be a good teacher. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. We asked, I asked that because I feel that I don't want to be a teacher in the future. I don't see me as a teacher in the future, but I have this way of thinking that when you learn a lot and you become, for example, a senior programmer, for example, there's a lot of how could I say it?
Things to teach, right?
Yeah, things that you want to share with others, or
There's knowledge you can
there's
share.
knowledge you can share with others. And also, I think that teaching is a good way to reinforce the things that you learned before.
Yes. Because you start, it's when you're working, it starts being something so natural, like, when you do something without thinking about it a lot, it comes naturally to you. That's when you know that maybe you are well prepared and well rounded. But at the same time, because you don't think about it a lot, that's maybe you don't reinforce the knowledge too much, and that's when where teaching comes on, because you start thinking, you start analyzing all your actions, you start not just going through it mindlessly, but with certain logic, with certain intelligence, certain a specific certainty about what's to teach. And it's something like, the light bulb that comes from an idea, like it shows up, and okay, now I understand it, so I can explain it to you guys as students.
Right. Well, I think that we have enough information for you as a teacher, but we would like to know, well, for example, what do you do in your job at government?
Okay. My normal activities there are, I am a full stack.
You can start with your position there and what, and again, you can tell us where you work.
Okay, sure thing. I'm actually an analyst programmer in Tribunal Superior de Justicia. I work from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. My activities there are, I am a full stack programmer, which means that I do front end and back end.
Which means you do everything.
Yes, basically. I do not manage databases. What I do is, yes, I use databases, but I do not, only databases from, testing environments, not production environments. So there's a specific set of guys there that are in charge of that. So that's actually the whole work. In the past, I actually did some technical tech support. Actually,
Alright.
I did some tech support, but because our boss wanted us to focus only on a specific tasks, in this case front end and back end, he relinquished all those stuff and he assigned them to a specific group of people. So the users do not bother us. Okay, there was no need for us to go to meetings because the bosses and the QAs are in charge of that. So the boss wanted us to focus only on our activities, normal activities. No contact with users, no petitions or requests that are not approved by them. So I believe that it benefits us a lot because we can focus more clearly. We have a more free range to be working with. We actually enjoy I actually enjoy working a lot of teamwork because meeting these deadlines, working with these people, I actually think of them as friends, as Fireforge friends, because we've been through a lot together. So it not just helps you building professionally, but just as well personally. You know.
Yeah. Well, from what you say, I'm assuming that you like your job.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, but it was always like that.
At first, I was being in a meritocracy, which you know what is a meritocracy.
Right.
I actually started working there without payment. So, and I started working as an IT guy, literally, a tech guy. So, what I wanted to do is program. When the word came up to the higher ups there, with the vice director in the area, he told me that he heard that I wanted to be a programmer, so he gave me an opportunity. So I took it. Started working there. I was like, oh, what the hell am I doing here? Because the stuff that you learn in school, it's very different from. It's kind of different from a work environment. So I was not afraid, but I was mostly nervous because there's this new experience that you don't know anything about, and that's when it hits you, and you sink or you swim. You know. Right. So I started working up more and more and more. I got to know the people working there. I fraternalized with them. I started enjoying it. I started understanding it a bit more, because when I started, I did not understand it at all so well. But as time passed by, I actually started enjoying it more and more and more. So now I can safely say that I really love my job. I would like to keep it for as long as I hope to.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working there for 10 years. As of actually, it's going to be 10 years in like 5 days.
Oh yeah, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That sounds like a lot of time. Did you ever feel like bored about your job, or feeling like you spend more? Well, you've been working there for a long time, or?
No, I actually when you enjoy something, you actually feel like passes went by really fast. So I think that it applies to me there. So it's been like 10 years, but sometimes I won't notice, because it's been a very enjoying experience, working about what you studied, and yes, it's actually a very fulfilling experience.
Yeah. So do you like to programming, right?
Yes.
And when did it start that? When did you feel that is a time or the moment that you realized that you wanted to be a programmer?
I was in the UTCH actually. It was like, I believe, second or third semester. I don't remember well, but the quarter. I'm sorry. There's this time that when they gave you a problem and you started thinking about how to solve it. Yes. And then there was this time I went to bed, and it came to me like, I know how to solve this, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing it. Yes, and that's
happened to me recently.
Yes, maybe that's the moment that I actually started thinking that maybe I was born for it.
Yeah, there's a part of your life. Well, if you're starting something, maybe it happens with every career.
Yes.
Basically, you start to think as being a professional. You start to think about your subjects, about your topics. And in that moment, you feel more like prepared and more in the mindset of being a professional in your area.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, also when you start a topic and you say, wow, that thing seems to be very nice to me. It's something that I want to do in the future.
Because we remember, well, as a personal experience, I remember when I was, I first entered to this university at the Uteshbis, and I just wanted to grab something because I was like jumping from school to school, and I did the same here. But as the time goes by, at fourth quarter, something like fifth quarter, I started to think, to grab this mindset, to start to think on the subjects and the topics we saw here on the school. And right after that moment, I feel like it was more easy or like more enjoyable.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
More enjoyable.
Yeah, I do believe that it's when you're young, maybe it's kind of hard to know because there's these expectations. I don't know, maybe your parents or yourself ask of yourself, and it's very difficult to setting on something sometimes. Maybe it's because when you're a kid, you have this dream to be, I don't know, policeman or a firefighter or an astronaut. But then you start growing up and you start setting these realistic expectations about yourself. And that's when you start thinking, well, this is me now, what I want to be doing. Maybe I would like this thing, or maybe I won't. So it's up to you. Maybe when you make this retrospection,
You need to be clear with yourself and grab your opportunities.
Yes, that's correct. Maybe at the start, with you, it's not what you believed it at first, but it grows on you, and you start enjoying it, and you said, "This is the thing that I want to be doing for the rest of my life."
Right. Well, I would like to go backwards a little bit.
Yes.
When we asked you about your job on Tribunal de Justicia, you mentioned that you started with no salary.
Yes.
What is your opinion on that? In the way that there's the opportunity to learn, but there's no like money in exchange. But also, what do you think about the people who decided to grab these opportunities or the people who won't?
Okay. The first thing that I also want to mention is that at the time I was studying the engineering degree at the UTCH. I was in seventh grade actually, in seventh quarter. So when these kinds of opportunity arise to you, maybe you should take them because you are not in the position to be asking money on that kind of situations.
Yeah, I feel the same.
But fortunately, they actually offered me a little bit of money. When I started working there, I actually started getting a kind of nice salary for at the time because, well, you're young. I had like 25 years old at the time. I wasn't so young, but I was young still.
You were my age right now.
Yes,
25. And I'm on seventh quarter.
Yes, I was 25 at the time, so that salary felt like a lot of money. But then again, you finish school, starting working an adult's life, all these worries and all these payments and all this. We have this very little problem and this very bad habit called eating. So you need some money to help solve that.
Well, we have to eat 3 times a day. That's so much expensive. It's a lot of money. I don't know who decided that. I don't know. Maybe it's a person who doesn't live in Mexico because here is expensive. Everything. More than expensive, the salaries is not enough to live.
It's very expensive to live.
Yes.
It's expensive than other states in Mexico, actually.
I understand the people that don't grab these kind of jobs where they don't receive any kind of money or salary. just because of that, because
There's
living costs money.
Yes.
You cannot just waste your time, because it's not wasting your time. You're learning and you're preparing yourself to the future. But we, as you mentioned, we need to eat something. We need to live where and be, I mean, below a roof,
Yes.
and warm in a clothes. You know.
As you're saying, it depends on what stage in life you're in. Because if you're a student and you're young, it may be a good idea to take the job. Maybe opportunity when you're working there, opportunity may arise when you're when you've been there for some time. An opportunity arises for you to gain some monetary help. So, but when you are older and I don't know, you want to marry your girlfriend, you want to establish yourself a new home, you want to be providing for you and she or he, that's when you cannot accept these kinds of job. You have to have that experience. You have to establish yourself as a professional. You have to start winning a salary. It as resume this. My point is that it depends on what kind of your age and your expectations at that time.
Yeah, because if you are a head of a family, that's kind of difficult to pursue.
Yeah, I also
Yes.
think that it depends on the situation you're living right now, because something I can add in here is that if you have the help from your parents or something, just grab it and take those works and grab some experience, because
Yes.
they will help you a lot in the future.
Yeah, that's correct.
So well, now we will back on the questions, because we just decided to talk more about these feelings and these opinions we have on works, on how students behave.
Yeah, basically what I'm grabbing here from this conversation is that you like a lot to programming, but
Yeah.
I would like to know why inspired you to pursue a career in technologies.
I actually liked computers since I was a little kid. I felt not so disconnected. I wanted to be. I actually started studying something where you maybe you will think that it was completely different world from programming. I actually started studying dentistry. I wanted to be a dentist like my dad, but that didn't work out. So that's when I started thinking, well, what I have an aptitude for, what I believe I will be working well with. So that's when the UTCH came by. I actually looked up for the subjects and I actually liked it. There was no one that inspired me to. My parents are my inspirations for the person I want to be, because they have been great folks since I was a little kid. I had a great childhood. But as a programmer, someone who inspires me, no. That's on me. That's entirely on me. I wanted to strive for being a good programmer. There's no inspiration behind me, but me and my dad's. My parents and me. Yeah.
Well, on your job on Tribunales Justicia, what's your favorite activities to drinking coffee? Drinking coffee.
I actually enjoy a lot of backend. I enjoy working with logic, working with queries. I enjoy also frontend. I actually like programming as a whole bit because you have to. There's these logical programs like puzzles. You have the pieces, but you have to make them fit, and you have to use your brain. You have to use a lot of your logic. I enjoy a lot of it.
Some people say that before starting programming, you need to improve your logic.
Yes, you do. And because it keeps the hamster rolling. It keeps my mind hamster rolling, and I do enjoy it because it keeps me busy. It's when you're not doing when I'm not I'm kind of a hyperactive guy with my mind. I like to be thinking a lot.
That's great. And knowing how to point that energy, it's useful. It is great to know that with that energy, you teach us very well, and also you perform well on your work.
Thank you, guys.
It's a great thing to know. Well. Again, you just tell us about the things you like. Could you share with us the things you won't like?
Well, there's very little I don't like. Actually, no, I haven't thought about it a lot. About not liking something. I dislike from my job. You mean, right?
Right.
Maybe there's some hard people to work with because
It's always about other people.
yes, it's not from the guys from my specific area because we guys had development. We are so tight. We are very tight with each other. We are cool with each other. The problem comes with maybe IT guys, tech guys, because they're kind of, like in school, there was these different cliques, like the the cheerleaders, the row guys, the nerd guys, and that kind of stuff. Well, it's the same thing in work because you have IT guys, you have development guys, you have video processes guys, and they're like their own gang, and they're sometimes at odds with other areas.
Right.
And maybe it's working with people I don't get along with, which is very limited because I tend to be a guy who keeps being, sociable and likable and accessible to all my partners, to all my coworkers too. So there's this kind of one or two guys that are kind of they're kind of dickish,
Yeah, in those cases, you just need to start think less about those people and start focusing on the things you can control, because sometimes there's no way to maintain a good relation, or
Yes.
maybe it is hard to work with some people, and
Yes.
the best stuff you can do sometimes is just you just not focus on the things you can control,
Yes, that's correct.
and not giving the much importance on the things you can't.
Okay.
Well, I would like to go back a little bit with the programming part.
Yes.
You mentioned that you like the backend developing
Yes.
better than the other ones. Call it front end databases. What
Yes.
do you like the most about the backend?
Backend requires a lot of logic, as I said, and it's about to. It also works very closely with the databases, and databases are kind of fun, but not so fun as programming. But they're kind of good, It helps that it combines the best of the two, the databases and the code, and you have to be quite precise. You have to be very meticulous with it, and that's why I actually enjoy a lot. I also do enjoy a lot of front end because it involves a lot of logic too. But the whole package is actually very nice.
Yeah. Well, talking more about the backend part.
Yes.
When do you feel that you started to like learning and perceiving this kind of way of thinking about in a more like logical thinking?
When I started programming, I actually started thinking a lot, and the pieces fell well together. So I like it. My mind kind of liked when the clicks were made.
You just feel great doing it.
Yes, I felt very good with doing it, and that's when I started. I think I started liking it a lot, But I don't remember a very specific time when I started, when it made that right click. But sometimes even speaking with my coworkers, my bosses, because we do it's not just about programming, but also about different points of view about the objectives that we have to fulfill.
Yeah, because more than programming is solving problems.
Yes, because there's different levels of knowledge and different points of view about how to solve a different problem. And I like brainstorming with them because they have good ideas. Sometimes I like to believe that I also have good ideas and we implement them. Yes, it's not just about the code, but also about being with and talking with my coworkers.
Yeah, just because we're talking now about backend, I want to share about my personal experience learning code.
Yes.
Just because you mentioned how was it for you, how was your process of learning and the understanding of the topics, and for me it was different because here on Notech Bees. They basically started to teaching you how to do like small programs like
Yes. Yes.
arrays and small functions and stuff like that. But by the time I was solving these topics in class, I didn't understand anything. I think, and I started to think that I was bad at programming and I will never make it as a professional or as a career. But I started more understanding these topics by searching how things work and how things are developed, and that way I reach how this understanding of how to develop it by myself. Because if you just started to giving me information about the language and the frameworks and all this stuff, I don't understand. But if I search something like in YouTube, like I don't know, a YouTube video about how compressing files work, I understand a lot more than having in a class in here of a function or being a software architecture or something like that.
Yes, it's we as teachers we like to think that we like to set up the base of your learning, but this kind of knowledge, this kind of experiences, it's a lot is about learning yourself. You have to start up with what they teach you, but then you have to be a self-learner too, especially in programming.
Being self-learner
Yeah.
and also identifying the way you learn.
Exactly,
Yeah, I think
yes.
like it is very important because if I didn't realize about this part of me that I need to see programming's working and see how this logic works on those programs that already work, I wouldn't make it, I'd probably be on another career or something. I just remember that I started to watch any kind of video about how programming works on any kind of a scenario,
Yes.
and that way I started to learn, and that way I started to study by myself.
Yes.
Well, personally, adding more about the topic, I feel that I learn more when I need to apply the things that I learned before at the moment. For example, in the technical phase here in the university,
Yes.
I think that I don't learn that much. I didn't learn that much. But when I went to my internships, it is where I started to understand more and by practicing, because here it's something like oh, you need to do this, and you just do that for pass the class or pass or pass the activity. But when you are at a job at the real world, and you are start to face with walls that need you to think, to learn more about what you are doing right now, because in the internships, most of the stuff that I learned here, it was useful, but at the same time, it's like, well, I learn and I remember, I see that, but basically I don't remember how to do it. And when you start to practicing on the real world, you start to put together all the things.
Yes.
And it's something that I would like to say is my way of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much about this part of knowing the way you learn, and that's a great example for you, Roberto.
Yes.
Anything else to add of this programming stuff?
Yeah, guys, do not discourage about learning programming, because it's actually a pretty good line of job, and it may be sometimes feel like it's very hard to learn, but I believe that everyone is capable of, and if you have an attitude to it, an aptitude to it, that's for the better, you know.
Thank you for sharing those
Those thoughts and advices for us.
those
sure thing.
advices. Thank you. I feel like we spend a lot of time talking about this professional part and also this like teacher stuff.
Yeah.
And we are just 20 minutes left on this podcast, and we would like to know more about you.
sure thing.
Who is Ramses Requena, and what he likes to do on his free time. Just give us a brief explanation of how your life works and just anything.
Okay, sure thing. Yeah, while I work mainly on weekdays from Monday to Friday at Tribunal and the school, weekends I like to spend it with my wife. We like to play a lot of video games. We like to go to the movies. We sometimes like to, just take a stroll or maybe a walk. We like going through the city on car, taking a ride, It's I'm a simple guy with simple lives, I also collect comic books. I collect video games. I collect Lego figures. I have some amiibos. I'm a big guy on collections. I actually do like collections. I believe that I have a very big comic book collection. More like it's more about like I believe that I have 2,000, 5,000 comic books maybe. I do have a library about it. Yes, I actually write like a really lot. I love DC Comics, and I really love Batman. I'm a big Batman fan.
I was about to ask you that.
Yes, I'm a big Batman fan. I do enjoy other superheroes, but I I actually rubbed it on a little bit on my wife because she loves DC Comics too, but she loves Wonder Woman. And we have a collection and all that stuff. I'm a big guy on video games. I do enjoy video games a lot. And well, that's what am I actually.
You sound like a very happy guy.
Yeah.
And you live
You're living the life.
you're
basically.
living the life. You're living the life.
basically. We would like to talk more about your video games and what kind of things that you play, or what you mostly play, or what do you most like.
Okay, I'm a big RPG guy game because I like Final Fantasies.
Right.
I love Kingdom Hearts series. I love Dragon Quest too.
Dragon Quest is a very good game because. Sorry for interrupting
Yeah,
you.
that's okay.
Just because you mentioned Dragon Quest,
Yes.
I feel like it's the best RPG to start with and to continue with also.
Yes. I actually been withholding playing the Dragon Quest 3 remake because I haven't had the time to play it, so it's kind of like I want to play it, but mostly because I've been working a lot of weekdays. There's been a little bit of very little time for me to play video games. So that's when I played some stuff like Balatro. I actually enjoy Balatro a lot. There was another student that told me that it was like like cocaine. It's very addictive. It is addictive.
It's very addictive.
It is addictive. One time I actually withheld a game for like 3 days because there was these sessions of 4 or 5 hours of me playing it, and I did not end it. I ended from the exponential 241. The number was 1 to the exponential 241. Like what?
Exponential, but when you reach the exponential levels,
Yes.
then the game starts to be
Yes,
harder.
that's when you started seeing letters on the numbers. That's when it starts getting very.
It means that you
difficult.
spend a lot of time on the game and you need to take a break.
When did this passion with video games start for you?
Woo! There was, unfortunately, I think that my dad will be very sad about it, kind of sad about it. But he actually bought me the NES when I was a little kid. I had like 3 years old. I was like 3 years old because at the time we did not have tablets and that kind of stuff. Right. So he bought me a Nintendo, and it came with I don't know if you remember. Have you seen it? The Mario Bros. And the Hunt. Yes, and I had also the Zapper,
Right.
and he always laughed at me because I did not pointed it from afar, but I actually went to the screen to shoot it, and
Yeah, it works. It
he
works.
told
it works.
me, "Hey, no, don't cheat, don't cheat."
You need to aim from behind.
I was like 3 years old, and they already gave me a gun, you know.
Well, maybe from back then you were thinking as a programmer, you solve a problem, you know?
Yes.
Because maybe you didn't manage to do it by far, but maybe being near was easier for you.
Yes. Then I actually followed a lot of Nintendo line of consoles. The last console I had from Nintendo was before the Switch was the GameCube, and I actually sold it.
The greatest console of all
Yes.
time. If you hear anyone who tells you that the PS2 is better than the GameCube, he's wrong.
No, yes, actually. Then I actually started collecting the PlayStations. I went to PlayStation 2, then I did not have PlayStation 3. I went to PlayStation 4, and then I currently have a PlayStation 5 and a Switch.
Right now it's a great time to collect PS4 games because they are like cheap on every place you can buy it.
Yes, I'm actually a big guy on these kinds of games. I like the console. I actually like a lot of consoles. Although I'm an IT guy, and there's a lot of people that say PC Master Race.
One of those.
Yes, but I don't have the time to build it, and I don't have the money. Consoles are a lot cheaper. Maybe they're not, well optimized to run everything, but they're there's also, it's not that good of a thing, but I believe that it is kind of nice for console owners because there's exclusivity sometimes, you know.
That's right.
But sometimes it kills up the hype for other console holders, like what happened with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The remake that were exclusive for the PS, and when they launched it on another consoles, the hype has died down a lot. There's a lot of not so great sales for that particular console, you know. So I would really prefer more less console exclusivity and more, for them to open up to all users from about all consoles. Yeah.
That's right. So you are telling us that you're a console guy.
Yeah.
And which was the console that you think you spend more time with?
Woo!
Which one is your favorite, basically?
My favorite is the PS5, but sadly I'm a very smashy guy, and I currently have like
That means you need to connect your Switch often.
yes, I actually have like 3,000 and 5,000 hours on Smash Bros. I'm actually I like to think I'm a very good Smash player, but I'm not. It's like I'm good enough to beat my friends, but not good enough to professionally play.
Yeah, well, we're just 10 minutes left on
Yeah.
this podcast. I wanted to be back again on these RPG stuff.
Yeah, sure thing.
Did you ever played Airbound before?
Ooh, yes, I did.
And
Uh-huh.
before you start to answer me,
Yeah.
Also, did you ever try Chrono Trigger?
Oh, yes, I do have. I have a cartridge actually.
The cartridge.
Yeah, I have the cartridge. I enjoy it because it's not a precursor, but I believe it's more like a brother game to Dragon Quest, and being from the mind of Akira Toriyama, and it's actually a pretty good game. So the different elements of this, the ATB, the active time battle system that it implemented, it's actually pretty good, and I do enjoy it a lot.
And what do you think about this dilemma about which game is the best RPG on the SNES platform between Chrono Trigger and Airbound?
I think it's because the development of these games are kind of different because, the two are Japanese games at its core, but Dragon Quest deals with a more medieval style, and Earthbound is more like a modern setting or Eagle Land, Eagle Land like America. And whatever the style you prefer, for me, I enjoy both games, but I'm more like a medieval style RPGs. But I also do enjoy Earthbound a lot. I actually have a cartridge from Earthbound, but a Japanese cartridge. It is sealed up, so I mostly played it on a virtual console. That's actually one of the jewels of my collection. So the two are great games. Actually, it's kind of hard to decide because I do enjoy them a lot.
Yeah, it is easier for me to answer this question because I never played Chrono Trigger. And I only tried myself on this Airbound game, and I feel just an amazing game. It's very beautiful. It's a wonderful game. I don't know how they managed to give this feeling of life on a cartridge.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's not to be generalized, but I believe that with the thing, like with most things from the past in regarding art and music and video games, you actually felt all this caring and love that they used to make these kind of games. It shows up, it shows on the work, and you actually enjoy it a lot because of that. Yeah.
You're saying that you love RPGs.
Yeah.
I'm not much that guy of an RPG
Yeah.
because I never liked this combat, this system like combat by turns.
Yes.
But recently, like 1 year or 2 years ago,
Yes.
are you familiar with the saga Persona?
Ooh, Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm a big fan too.
You're a big fan.
Yes.
Yeah, and well, coming back to my thoughts,
Yes.
I play Persona 5 recently,
Yes.
and it will become a one of my favorite games of all time. How do you feel about Persona 5?
Ooh, I actually, it's one of those one of those things that I actually asked my wife when she was my girlfriend for a gift. She told me, "What do you want for your birthday?" No, I wanted this. And what's this? It's a game that it actually catched my eye. I hadn't played a Persona game before Persona 5. And then I started playing it. Blends a lot of a lot of different systems, like a dating sim game, RPG game, and it's kind of funny because you get all this interaction between all these characters, and you also get this cool system, all this game about the dungeons and kind of stuff, and it has a very great a story. I don't know if you played the Royal.
I played
The Royal one expanded it. An already great game made it a lot better.
Yeah.
Also, and yes, I actually from that I started playing Persona 4 and Persona 3 Reload. Actually, it was pretty good.
That's pretty good. And how do you feel about Persona 4 and Persona 3? Because I just played the Persona 5 Royal.
Persona 4 is more about detective kind of style story, so it's kind of cool. And Persona 3 will break your heart.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, what I was about to say is that I played Persona 5, and then it became the Persona 3 Reload, the Persona 3 Reload, and I started to play that, but I feel that it's not as good as Persona 5, or well, I don't feel that much enjoy it with
Persona 5.
Yeah.
Persona 5 has a more and a very exciting vibe about it. Persona 4 and Persona 3 are a lot more relaxed than a lot of it. They upped up the ante with Persona 5.
Yeah, because it's way different from me.
Yeah.
Because I think it's how could I say not boring, just slower. Just slower, because some friend of mine say that the Persona 3 one is the one that he likes the most. So I started to play that with that in mind, but I don't feel that way because it's a way slower than Persona 5.
Okay.
All right, well, teacher, right now we are out of topics. Thank you a lot for sharing your experience and also your opinions on being a professional and also being a teacher.
Okay,
Also,
sure
your opinion as a video gamer, it was great to having you here.
thank you,
Thank you for
your time.
Thank you for your time, and we'll just wait for our next episode here on this podcast with teachers on the Utech Beast. Say goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.